Don't forget, we have the tour coming to you. Link below. Now, BC really got me triggered in the comments today, and this is what I look like when I get triggered. BC states that aside from this, buying in the wedge is literally impossible for a normal person in SoCal. We've tried. The houses are literally gone in 2 to 3 days, typically because a number of investors try to nab them, and there is an oversaturation of the amount of those investors. For example, my wife and I tried to scoop up a wedge in Orange County. We knew the house was coming on the market before anybody else did, but so did other investors, and the house was literally scooped up by a cash buyer with $600,000 in cash. And a week and a half later, it's already been flipped. We've been pushed out of this market like crazy for the past year and a half in Southern California. Wrong. Okay, aside from my terrible Donald Trump impression, let's get into the meat of the matter here. Finding a wedge deal is a matter of competing in the fight. Folks, when I go look at a property that I think is a good wedge deal, I love me some competition, because as a listing agent of properties that oftentimes get multiple offers, I realize that 90% of offers suck. Straight up, 90% of the offers you get are either lowball offers, have stupid, dumb terms buried in them that make no sense for the seller to accept, and really when a property has 10 offers, maybe 2 of them are good. At least that's what I found, and I don't think it's gonna be any different in Orange County. But even if it is, here's what you need to be telling yourself. When there is competition, active competition, multiple offers on a property, what is it telling you? It's telling you that it's a good deal. This is proven by the example we just heard here, that the house was flipped within a week and a half. That means they didn't even have to do anything to it. It was such a good deal. So here's where, unfortunately, I probably have to make the presumption here that BC was wrong. See, here's how this works. For BC to have lost out to a $600,000 buyer cash, who was able to flip the property doing no work to it or very little work to it a week and a half later, that probably means, especially because this was an off-market deal, that the actual value of the property was closer to $700,000 plus. I don't know this address, I don't know the property, doesn't matter. But here's how you play this game. Property like this comes up for 600 grand. Let's say it has 10 offers on it. Well, guess what? Most of those cash offers can't go above a certain range because there's so many selling costs. So they're gonna be capped around, let's say, $610,000. If you're looking to buy a wedge deal not to flip, but to keep long-term and rent it, guess what? All you have to do is offer a little bit more money. Offer $612,000. And I'll give you a real example here in 1 second. But watch this. When you pay $612,000, what happens? You cap out what all the flippers can pay. You eliminate from the ball game all the competition that can't pay this much. Who are you up against then? You're up against the homeowners that are able to pay $612, but they have to sell a house, or they have other weird contingencies, or they need money back at closing and all this stuff. No problem. Screw them. You write your offer super dank clean. Here's how you do that with a real example, because I just bought 2 wedge deals the same way, each with over $100,000 in the wedge within the last 2 months. By the way, this is the kind of stuff I teach on almost a daily basis in the real estate investing course, where people bring me their deals and I give them recommendations on exactly what to do. Obviously, we have over 340 lectures as well that you could learn from, and you should use Spring 2019 and join with 18% off right now as a coupon code. Anyway, here's how you write yourself a dank offer. Guess what? Let's say that place is on the market for $600,000. It's got a ton of cash offers. What do? Well, the first thing you do is you beat all the freaking flippers because they have to pay selling costs. So pay more money. That's how you start making a dank offer. You pay more money, but just a little bit more than the flippers so that there's still enough of a wedge room in there. Guaranteed, if they turn around and flip this within a week and a half, there was probably a $100,000 wedge in that deal. And because you didn't want to compete with multiple offers, you got sad and didn't end up competing and you didn't get the deal. That doesn't mean deals aren't there to be had. It just means you're not being either advised on the right strategies or you're not putting forth the right strategies. Second thing, close of escrow terms. You pick up the phone. Bro, listing agent. Do they want a long escrow or they want a short escrow? They want a short escrow, no problem. They want a long escrow, no problem. Give them what they want. It ain't that big of a deal. Be accommodating. What's close of escrow time frame gonna do for you? Nothing. Makes no difference for you in the long run. Deposit? Hey, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? If you give me the deal, I will sign my deposit over to you right now. You know what? I will wire it to your bank account. It won't even go into escrow. I will wire it straight into your bank account. Just yesterday, I was at Chase because I've literally done exactly this on my own deals twice in the last 3 months. I told him with a handshake and a contract, I'll give you this deposit and I will buy this property or you keep my 20 grand. I'm so confident of that. I will wire it or deposit it right into your bank account. And that's what I did, so it doesn't get caught up in escrow. That makes your offer pretty dang powerful compared to everybody else. It's like, well, yeah, I'm not sure yet. Gosh, it's just not that hard. Appraisal? I know it's a good deal. I don't need an appraiser telling me it's a good deal. I'll waive that contingency. Inspection? I'll get an inspection, and if it's really, really bad, I guess I kiss my 20 grand goodbye. But the odds are, because I'm gonna surround myself with the proper agent, the proper lender, the proper contractors and professionals, I'm gonna go into the deal, and I'm gonna be pretty dang sure of the condition of the windows, the roof, the plumbing system, and the foundation before I even write an offer. These are not hard things to find in houses. It's very difficult to get surprised when a house is crappy. Usually there are a ton of red flags. Cross that off the list. I won't do an inspection, or I'll do an inspection, but you can keep my 20 grand if I decide to back out. Loan? I'm not worried about it. This is where you have to have a good lender in your circle. I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff sucks as a buyer, but if you want a good deal, sometimes this is just what you have to do. You gotta play game. Sale contingency? Don't even bother writing an offer on a good deal if you have to sell a house to get it. It ain't gonna happen. Credits? Don't bother. Don't even try to ask the seller to cover some of your closing costs if you're in a competitive environment for a good deal. And now all of a sudden, what do you got? You got yourself a dank offer, bro. And when you got yourself a dank offer, you're gonna get one accepted one day, and you'll get yourself into a wedge deal. The chosen one wants to know, yeah, but what if your tenants lose their jobs? How do you fix that situation? Well, here's how you fix that situation. First of all, you ideally properly screen your tenants to ensure that they have excellent credit ratings at first. I don't take substandard credit ever, and I never not screen credit because that is the kiss of death. Because even a tenant that loses their job that has good credit understands that getting their credit hurt actually hurts their ability to get a new job, especially as more employers begin to screen credit. So the tenants are usually highly motivated to keep their credit reputation, especially when they lose their job. And what do? They keep making payments so that their credit stays good and they can get a job. Now, the other scenario I like is when you have two household incomes that can both cover the rent. So if one person loses their job, at least ideally the other person can still pay rent. But sometimes this is complicated because if people make too much money, then they might be incentivized to buy and leave earlier. And turnover is bad. I'd rather keep tenants as long as possible. So the biggest thing is really credit screening. If they lose their job and they stop making payments, well, I guess they're getting evicted and their credit's getting shot. That's your leverage over the tenant. Credit, credit, credit. So many people try to, rent a property out on gut feeling or, well, everything seems good or their car's clean. It's really dumb. It's really stupid. Run credit, document everything about them. I go through exactly what to document in the real estate investing course. It'd be a long list here, and I show exactly how to run the credit as well. But folks, geez, don't mess around with tenants. Do the proper screening. If they don't pay, they get the boot. That's how it works.